right, so the big news on the day is Coinbase was hacked. Cybercriminals bribed and recruited rogue overseas support agents to pull personal data on less than 1% of Coinbase MTUs. No passwords, private keys, or funds were exposed. Prime accounts are untouched. We will reimburse impacted customers. More information here. So, doesn't sound just, as they're reporting, like a crazy big deal, but Coinbase was hacked. It's kind of some big news. So it says, here's the too long, didn't read. Cybercriminals bribed and recruited a group of rogue overseas support agents to steal Coinbase customer data to facilitate social engineering attacks. These insiders abused their access to customer support systems to steal the account data for a small subset of customers. No passwords, private keys, or funds were exposed, and Coinbase Prime accounts are untouched. We will reimburse customers who were tricked into sending funds to the attacker. We're cooperating closely with law enforcement to pursue harshest penalties possible and will not pay the $20 million ransom demand that they've received. Instead, we are establishing a $20 million reward fund for information leading to the arrest and conviction of the criminals responsible for this attack. So Brian Armstrong was quick to get on and say a few words. So let's take a listen to what he has to say.
Hey everyone, I want to make you aware of a disturbing email that we received recently at Coinbase. It was a ransom note demanding $20 million in Bitcoin in exchange for these attackers not releasing some information they claim to have obtained on our customers. Now, we like to do things transparently here at Coinbase, and so I'm going to respond publicly to these attackers by saying no. We are not going to pay your ransom. In fact, I have a few next steps in mind that I'm going to share at the end of this video. But for the rest of you watching, wondering what happened, we did an investigation here, and these attackers have been approaching our overseas customer support agents, looking for a weak link, someone who would accept a bribe in exchange for sharing some customer information with them. Now, our support tools have limited access to customer information. There was no passwords or private keys or funds accessed as part of this. But customer support agents do have access to personal information like name, date of birth, address, etc. And attackers still want access to this information because it allows them to conduct social engineering attacks where they can call our customers impersonating Coinbase customer support and try to trick them into sending their funds to the attacker. Now, unfortunately, they were able to find a few bad apples. Our systems are designed to mitigate the impact of something like this, so less than 1% of our monthly transacting users had their records accessed, but this is still unacceptable. I want to tell you what we're doing about it. So first, any customers that were socially engineered as a result of this incident, we're going to reimburse them. There's more details on our website, on our blog post about the reimbursement process. You can read more there. Any customers who have been impacted by this or have been notified at this point. Number two, we're hardening our systems around customer support to make something like this much more difficult in the future. And third, we're actually relocating some of our customer support operations as a result of this. But the last step is maybe the most important, which is that instead of paying this $20 million ransom, we're turning it around. And we're putting out a $20 million award for any information leading to the arrest and conviction of these attackers. For these would-be extortionists or anyone seeking to harm Coinbase customers, know that we will prosecute you and bring you to justice. And now you have my answer.
Reimburse customers, and it sounds like if you have been affected by this, man, I feel for you. But it sounds like they've reached out to folks that have been affected who have lost money in this. They will be reimbursing you. They're stepping up some of their securities, and they're, instead of paying the ransom, using that money as a reward for information leading to the arrest of these criminals. So I don't know. A lot of people complain about Coinbase. I got to say, I think that's a pretty nice move. It's great of him to get on there real quick and take positive action, stern, forceful, proactive moves in response to this attack. So a lot of people say that you shouldn't use Coinbase, you shouldn't keep your coins on there. A lot of people say that, and despite a lot of people saying that, a lot of people still keep their stuff on there. As far as a beginner-friendly channel, which I like to think this is, Coinbase is a beginner-friendly app for crypto users, and a lot of people use it. There's a reason that it was just brought into the S&P 500 yesterday, not a couple days ago. Kind of wild. This is all happening in the same week. It's a busy week for them. I'm sure a big week for them. A lot of people give Coinbase a hard time. I think they're a great company. I've never had any problems with them. Yes, their customer service does kind of leave room for improvement. There's room for improvement there, but overall, I think that they handled this pretty well. Just a couple other pieces of news on the day. In lighter news, Bitcoin Crocs are out, version 3. You can claim your pair. $90. I mean, come on, man. Bitcoin Magazine. These are fly. I mean, imagine showing up to the family picnic with these bad boys on. Letting your dogs fucking stomp in these bad boys. Okay. So there you go. Another quote here from Katie Martin at the Financial Times. My teeth are scarce, but they're not worth $1 billion. That quote is terribly written. I don't know if that's the exact quote. My teeth are scarce, but they're not worth $1 billion. Michael Saylor, responding to this tweet, sell a tooth if you must, but keep the Bitcoin. So it's a little bit of lighthearted back and forth on Twitter there. And I do want to end here with just saying, like, if you do have your coins on exchanges, it's best to use a hardware wallet. I like a Ledger. I think Ledger's kind of where it's at. But I have some links in my link tree if you're interested. I'll leave that link in the description to Trezor wallet, Ledger wallet. There's lots of options, but you should take your coins off the exchanges. I think it's common sense to kind of store and protect your own crypto. That's the whole ethos of cryptocurrency. Is to be your own bank, to not let these third party or like these big businesses kind of manage your funds. It's to self-custody and to hold your own currency. So I do encourage that. There are affiliate links in the description. If you want to help out the channel, you don't have to, obviously, but I recommend Ledger. Everybody has their own opinion on what's best here. But thank you guys so much for listening, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.